Hey, how you guys doing? I'm gonna hand the camera over to my son Anthony, and we're gonna do a little recording today and Keto Paleo Q&A, talk about KetoCheck, app I developed to help some newbies get started in the ketogenic world. So with that being said, let's get started here. All right, you got me? No, keep it sideways. You got me?
Yeah, but you're sideways.
I'm sideways yet? Well, I guess we're going to have to go that way then. Alright, sorry, I guess we're going to have to go vertical today. So, anyway, you guys, I've developed an app called KetoCheck. This app was intended to help newbies, those who are new to the ketogenic diet world and are wondering where the heck do I start and what do I do. And a lot of people are number driven. So what I decided to do is develop this app to help people get started, and the reality is also to help them get more conscious of reading nutrition labels. Be more conscious of what's going in your body. So that being said, I actually have an iPad here. And I already have KetoCheck loaded on it. And what we're going to do is we're going to type in a couple of foods off a nutrition label to give you guys an idea of how this works. So we're going to clear it out, and we're going to start with, let's just start with cashews first. Okay, something real simple. I'm going to go back to the nutrition label. Can you see the nutrition label there? Okay, for those of you who don't know, almost every food or packaged food or anything has this in it. And actually, let's take a look. Here's almond butter. Almond butter has it on the side as well. Eggs have it, usually on the inside cover now. You can type in eggs. Olive oil. By the way, this is my favorite olive oil. I like to use California brand olive oil. It's natural, it's local, even has a harvest date on it. Something very, very important in my opinion is to get local olive oil, mostly being because the fancy stuff, at least in this country, goes rancid on the ship coming over. So let's get started. We're going to type in some stuff on KetoCheck for the nutrition label for some cashews. So this is on the iOS version or the Apple version. We got 13 grams of fat. Going down to total carbohydrate, we have 8. There's a total carbohydrate, 8. And then fiber says less than 1, we'll just put 1 in. And then sugar says 1. We got no sugar alcohol, so we're going to leave that blank. Protein, we're going to go down to 5 grams of protein. Then click done. That'll clear your keyboard out of the way. And what that'll do is give you at a glance, if you guys can see it there real quick, it's kind of hard. At a glance, it'll give you how many calories from protein, how many calories from fat, how many calories from carbohydrate. It'll give you the percentage in a column as well. Also, it'll give you, I got some rules of thumb for goal percentages. Now, once you get a little more acclimated to a ketogenic diet, you'll find your way, and those are more or less just, for beginners to get started. Everyone likes a number to get started. Also, what I've also done, when you get a little more advanced, right now it's reading total carbohydrate count. For those of you who get a little more in tune, you can adjust it up to total carbohydrates minus fiber, which is the one that I usually keep it on. And then once you get acclimated to a little more to the different sugar alcohols, there's a lot of products out there that have some sugar alcohols. Some that will register for some of you, some that won't, some that pass through pretty inertly, like erythritol. I try to, that's about the only one I shoot for, maybe sucralose. But if that's the case and that's one of the main ingredients in the product, I'll switch my KetoCheck app to total carbohydrates minus fiber minus sugar alcohols. If you're not savvy in the sugar alcohol world, you can keep it at just total carbohydrates minus fiber. And like I said, this app is set up for beginners to get started, and you can see it'll change right on the fly. Watch the carbohydrate change, 18.9, 17 and total carbohydrates minus sugar alcohol. That time nothing because we didn't have one in here. So, real useful tool for those of us getting started. Now, another thing you can use to get started with your ketogenic or your KetoCheck app. A lot of people who create food logs aren't really ketogenic friendly. So you could always have your food log up, type in your totals for the day underneath. That's usually total up at the bottom. So you have your protein for the day, your total carbohydrate for the day, your fiber for the day. And some of them do have a column for sugar, alcohol, some of them don't. But now you can kind of play with that wheel right on the fly to see where you're landing at the end of the day. Again, this is for beginners. Those of you who are trying to find your way, those of you who are trying to learn how to navigate a ketogenic diet, one of the questions I did get asked is why didn't I have a barcode scanner right away? Well, one, I wanted to be able to get people used to looking at nutrition labels, get used to reading labels and being conscious of what they're putting in their bodies. It makes a little more sense. Yes, it's a half a step more, but you get used to it. Another useful tool you can do for this is, so say you type in eggs. Let's type in eggs real quick on the KetoCheck app. First we'll clear it out and we'll go total fat 6, total carbohydrate, let's take a look. They have 0, 0, 0, 0 all the way down to 8. Okay, done. And that'll give you your macros for that. Okay, so it's pretty protein intense. But we know our total protein for an egg is 8 grams. It averages 6 to 8 grams in there depending on the size of your egg. These happen to be jumbo eggs. So if your fat ratio was off, well, this also at a glance gives you how many grams of protein you're eating in that meal or with one egg. And as you get better at a ketogenic diet, some of you might have a protein threshold that you have to be conscious of. So if you have a protein threshold you have to be conscious of, and gluconeogenesis may be knocking you out of ketosis, and there at a glance you can tell as well. Also, if you were adding or needed to add fat, you can see on the back of the olive oil we got 14 grams of fat, no carbohydrate, no protein. So if you were trying to dial something in, say you had something that was pretty protein heavy like the eggs, and you wanted to add a little more fat, you could type in the grams of fat for a teaspoon of olive oil. So you put olive oil on top of your eggs to spice them up, and then you would change your ratios that way, just adding it. So really useful tool, KetoCheck, especially for your newbies and get people more label reading conscious. It is in the Google Play Store right now, and hopefully later today it'll be on iTunes. I just got done with all the beta testing on it this morning. We had to add a couple things to make it easy, like a clear button and a done button so the keyboard would get out of the way. You'll be able to run it on your iPhones, your iPads, anything that runs the Google or the Apple products, and anything Android. Like I said, it's already on Google Play, so get it. It's only 99-cent app. Helps me recoup some of the cost of the app development, as well as go on to the next version of KetoCheck, which is going to be KetoCheck My Meal. You'll be able to enter everything that's on one plate of food, as well as type in ingredients to a recipe and then portion it out. So a lot of you have asked when I was doing some of the beta testing on KetoCheck, I would love to be able to type in all the ingredients of one of my recipes, hit divide by 6, so you made a pan of keto brownies and cut it up into 6 slices, how many per slice, calories, fat, blah, 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 blah. The next version, KetoCheck My Meal, which may be a web app, I don't know if it's going to be standalone yet or not, will have that feature as well. Also, it'll be able to do a whole plate worth of food, and that one I will back up with a database. So if you don't know what a chicken breast is, you can type in 6 ounces of chicken breast, it'll populate, and then you can add line items as you go. So great, thanks. That's Keto Paleo Q&A today. I'm going to be your Keto Daddy, bringing you these updates as often as I can, every Sunday at noon for sure. Sorry I missed last Sunday. We had a family emergency here that could not be avoided. I couldn't get to it. But I will upload this on YouTube, and I know it's on Periscope for a day. So again, keep your questions coming. Please download KetoCheck today if you're on Google Play, and hopefully look for it this afternoon on iTunes. All right, thank you guys very much. Have a good Sunday. Take care.